This conference will now be recorded.
Got it? Give us a moment. Sorry. Technical difficulties.
I figured since last time, Dave was supposed to do the invitation, he threw it on you, I'm gonna throw it on David.
He's all,
Well, you know what's gonna
no,
happen?
Catholic.
I'm gonna end up praying again.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Hey, if you need-
I got more time to grade.
You got more time than what?
Time to grade.
Where's your challenge? We should all bring our challenge toys.
They serve one more turn. All right.
I have a baby.
Good to go. All right. I call this regular session of the Lovington City Commission to order. Roll call, please, Shannon.
Mayor Roberts,
Here.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Here.
Commissioner Gandy,
Here.
Commissioner Bowe,
Here,
Commissioner White.
Here.
So join us in the invocation, please.
please bow your heads, pray with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for being here with us on this beautiful afternoon. We'd like to pray for the community of Ruidoso, for their citizens, their livelihoods, their homes, and their animals. They're in our thoughts and prayers. We thank you for our own community and the unity we share. We thank you for family, the greatest gift of all, the gift that strengthens and comforts us each day. Tonight we pray for guidance as we try to lead our community with integrity and wisdom. We pray for health and safety for all. Thank you for the many blessings you have bestowed upon us. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So it's the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Salute the flag.
The state of New Mexico, the sea is symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
May be seated.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda with the removal of resolution 2024-060, approval of the EDC advisory board for the housing incentive program.
Second.
All right. Put motion in second. Any discussion? Shannon, roll call, please.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for consideration of the minutes of June 10th, 2024.
Second.
Motion in second for the adoption of the minutes. Any further corrections, additions, discussion? Hearing none. Shannon, roll call, vote, please.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe.
Yes.
All right. All right. Brings us to our commissioner staff report. Ms. Shannon, do you have anything this evening?
A couple things. We're gonna have a transfer of ownership for a liquor license between Stripes that is going to 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is going on now.
Yeah.
So that will, we'll have a hearing on that. It's gonna be in July, I think maybe the second meeting in July. And also, Faye is here today, Thursday, and she's going with the senior center. She's gonna tell you about a public forum they're gonna have.
Okay.
The Hobbs Senior Center is having a public hearing or public forum on July the 16th at 10 a.m. It's a Tuesday. And it's for all the senior centers in the county. And it's just to find out the concerns that the seniors have, like for income and long-term care and employment for seniors, transportation, community services, other concerns, and like what they would like to see at the centers as well. You guys are welcome to come.
Location?
It's gonna be at the Hobbs Senior Center. It's gonna be Hobbs Senior Center, 200 East Park Street, Hobbs, New Mexico. We will put this in the paper and on the Facebook page, as well as give it out at the senior center and to our grab and go and our home delivered patrons. And if anybody doesn't have a ride, we will provide a ride over there that day. Any questions?
Questions?
So
All right, sounds good, thank you.
we're going to publish a notice of possible form so that y'all will feel free to come. As many as you want to come.
And I'm leaving this information with Shannon.
Perfect, thank you.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Kevin?
I don't currently have anything at this time. I think I'll be giving a few comments later on, but nothing major.
Sounds good. Chief?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. City Manager, all right, our officers' activity for June the 9th through the 15th are follows. Call to service is 307, alarm calls is 3, 5 crashes, 110 traffic stops with 91 citations, 9 arrests. And for the week of June 16th through the 22nd, we had 328 calls of service, 4 alarm calls, 11 crashes, 103 traffic stops with 60 citations, and 5 arrests. Code enforcement activities for May the 17th through June the 21st. Code issued 52 warning citations, 5 code citations, and she had 51 calls for service. Little follow up on Chaparral Park. On our last meeting, the street department continued with the parking area. They had put in the bumpers and they're reflective, so that's good. Also, there was a post that was put on Facebook in reference to her closing down the parks prior to 11 o'clock. She's continued doing that, and all those kids are hot rodding in there and doing some silly things. And we told them the park itself is not closed, just the road going in there. And then follow up. She's also been asked to go ahead and check the bathrooms and lock those each night.
Okay.
That's all I have.
A lot of diversions. Do it.
If you're-
Do we have I have noticed, do we have an actual closure on that particular road?
It just says the park closed at 11.
Okay.
It's just,
One of the green signs or something? 11 o'clock, I'm pretty much in bed, so
Yeah.
I haven't been out to see what official is on the closure.
as far as police officers, if their people are fishing and they're not bothering nobody, we really don't bother, because it seems like they're fishing well beyond that. But as long as they ain't causing no issues, I just leave them sit there on the bank. It's now that it's hot and during the day, some people like to play volleyball after dark. That's fine. Hopefully, once we get all this, because it seems like it's tailing off, less aggressive activity out there as far as those kids. And hopefully we won't have that issue anymore.
Commissioner?
I
Oh,
apologize.
sorry.
I forgot. Detective Grady has, she wants to brief you all on the autism certificate that we just received.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name is Detective Sergeant Grady, and I'm also the Public Information Officer for Lovington Police Department. A couple of months ago, Chief Clark mentioned that we were working on an autism initiative. This initiative started in February. Myself, with the help of DC Layla and Chief Clark, we were trying to figure out a way to help our community, the neurodiverse community. looking online, I was able to locate a program through the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Services. With that, Lovington PD is now the first department in New Mexico to be recognized as a certified autism center. Okay. Other agencies across the nation have done this. Bigger agencies, Modesto, California, Tucson, Arizona. There's an agency in Milwaukee that I can't pronounce the name, I'm sorry. But larger agencies have done this. It's a significant step forward to enhancing interactions with our autistic and neurodiverse community. Lovington does have a large population in that area. And so we're gonna be working with LACES, but for now, we're the first in New Mexico. We will be having a media day. I've spoken with KOB, KOAT, and KCBD out of Lubbock. And so they're gonna be coming here when we decide on a date. We're gonna have LACES involved in that as well. They're gonna be serving their coffee from their coffee shop that the kids run. It's basically just a heads up to you guys, because we would love to see you guys there as well. As soon as I have a date, Chief Clark will present that to y'all. It will be in the evening. That's according to the news stations, the better time for them to come. I have spoken to the New Sun and Lovington leaders. They're aware. Everybody's just kind of waiting on a date. We have received our certificate. I'm waiting on some bags to come in. I was able to get some autism bags for each unit. autismfoundation.org with Operation Safety Net, they're going to be donating 20 bags, one for each unit. In that bag, we'll have hearing protection for the kids, neurodiverse, sensory toys. We're going to be printing off our own communication cards so that we can better communicate with the people who are neurodiverse. And they're just going to have like an autism ID card that if for some reason we come across somebody, we can get what information we can out of them. They can wear it. Our officers who are then dealing with that individual will be able to identify them as well. This was all brought on. I was able to get the Estacado Federal Credit Union board members to approve it because it cost $3,700 for us to get the certification and training. And so a big thank you goes to Bobby Gold, Chris Howell, Brenda Garcia, Charlotte Kennedy, Ava Binge, Sarah Williams, the president and CEO, Mark Roddenberry with Estacado Federal Credit Union, and the CFO, Christina Ramon. They donated the money for our training. We still have a couple more projects for this initiative. One of them is being a window cling or a sticker for the back of car windows and also front doors, so that we know as officers if we're approaching, also as medics and fire, that there is someone in the home that has a neurodiversity or is on the spectrum, so we know how better to approach them. That's something that Las Cruces does. And so I'm also getting red door designs to design something for us to be able to hand out to the public. And then we're working on trying to have a day where we bring in the LACES individuals to the department and let them see what it's about, talk to the parents, get more information and maybe even photos, so that if we were to come across somebody, we have a face to recognize them with. It's been a long journey, work in progress on this, and I just really hope that you guys are there to support us when we do have the media. Do you have any questions?
Questions?
I have no questions, but I'd like to thank all parties involved. Really appreciate that. Very nice of you.
My question would be, is there other programming that you see happening in the future? Obviously, this is one, identification and getting our officers and EMS and all that, the training to know how to deal with this. But I mean, is there anything else that you see in the future that would bring a little bit more interaction between the city services and what'd you call it, neurodiverse. I don't want to just pick on one particular.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know. I mean, you know, I didn't know what all was available that we could attempt to do, programs, interactions, and things like that.
Yes, sir. So this organization, the IBCCES, they do training for all levels, whether it be teachers, city workers, fire, all levels. Like I said, it is a little costly. We did get a discount. I want to say that I haggled her into a discount, but she did give us a discount. It would be nice to have fire on board. City workers, everybody can get certified in it, sir, but they offer it to everybody. So if it's something that works out where we can definitely branch out, it would be amazing that all of the city of Lovington would be able to say, we did this and we did it first. You know, it is available, and I do have that information for department heads if they're interested. I can pass that on.
Is it possible to get one of our, yourself, I'm just going to use you as an example, to be certified to certify others?
I didn't look into that exactly. I know that the training that we took was online, and it came with a test and it had several videos on the training. I could possibly ask and get back to you on that at the next meeting so that you have more information. I don't mind looking into it.
Probably cheaper online anyway.
Could very well be.
Yeah. That way
I didn't know if it needed to be proctored or
Yeah.
anything like that. But, all right, sounds great. Just keep us informed.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
I like this one.
Okay, sure. Okay. Any questions, Christian? Sounds good. Thanks, Chief. All right, Fire Chief.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, so the fire department has filled our one open position. Miss Isabella Castillo, she is an EMT intermediate and a certified firefighter 1 and 2. So right now she is working as an EMT specialist at this time, and she does in the future want to convert to fire as well. But like I said, she's already trained, so that will be easy to do. Construction is progressing on our remodel. Hopefully it will be completed within the next 30 days. And then it's on to phase 2 of our project, which is flooring. But I'm in the process of getting quotes for that. And this is all due to capital outlay. The department has conducted major cleanup in our old fire station. We're just cleaning up accumulated junk it's unusable, it's old, broken, out of service equipment. I mean, we're talking like fire nozzles, broken axe handles, just stuff that have been there since the 80s and the 90s, some of it even earlier than that. None of it is on the asset list. We may need it. We haven't used it in the last 40 years, but we might at some point. So, like I said, none of it's on the asset list. So we're just going through and getting that old station back into a decent, usable space. We've had pigeons and fox that pretty much made it their home for the last numerous years. So we've fixed all the broken windows, and finally all the critters have been evicted. I thought we was gonna have to take them to court, but we got it done. The new EMS billing company is, they're going all the way back to the last date that we billed through the old company, because when we first set it all up, it was supposed to kick off June 1st is when they were going to pick up, because the company was going to bill through the end of this May. But then the cyber tax and all that happened, and they were not able to bill past February the 20th. So once they got everything fixed, they wanted us to go through this big process to pretty much get the 8 days from, because we had the new company go all the way through March 1st. So they have agreed to go all the way back to February 20th and pick up everything from that day forward. So we would not have any runs that fall through the cracks, anything like that, where we should be able, they're going to pick all that up. So they've really been extremely diligent and thorough, and they're really receptive and great communication with this company. I think we're gonna do really good. So, other than that, I have nothing else to stand for any questions.
Questions? What is the vision for the old firehouse? What do you foresee it being used for?
Well, right now, we've got our old truck, or I say our old trucks, we're using it to store trucks.
Okay.
But there's rooms that are in there that, well, literally is pigeon roosts, that we're gonna fix them up. And like right now, the room we have our bunker gear in has a window in it, and bunker gear is not supposed to be exposed to UV light. So we're moving it to that back room. We're cleaning it up. It's going in the back room. And then our uniforms are stored in a little closet underneath the stairwell of the basement, and there's not enough room. So we're gonna move it up to the room that is currently the bunker gear room. And we're just getting it to where it's usable for, our mechanic bay, we couldn't put trucks in it, and now it's to where we can pull a truck completely in. If it's bad weather, we can close the door, we can change the oils, we can do whatever inside the building. And there's other stuff that we're wanting to do, so.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Sergeant. Commissioner Bowe.
Thank you all for all being here tonight. I know I always put out eat local, buy local, shop local. And I'll keep saying that. I appreciate everybody that does that. Your hard-earned dollars, your hard work for dollars, I go back in the community, help out the community. We have a new facility, and I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but it's kind of nice to go there and actually be able to get gas for less than what we pay in house, for a change.
Well, this is right, yeah.
For a change, it's a good thing. It's a good
30
thing.
years,
So I'm happy on that. Again, not saying any names, any businesses. I hope that people frequent all our businesses. We got a building that's being worked on. Hopefully a new business is gonna be coming in there. Again, I'm not gonna say no names because I want everybody to take care of the businesses that we have here too. I see that work is being done on the northbound lanes, over by the railroad, repair, construction. I said, good things are happening, things are moving forward. We got the right people in the right places, putting pressure where it needs to be, getting things done that should have been done, that need to be done, that are getting done. So I appreciate everything that everybody's doing, the community, everything. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Trujillo.
I'm good. I've just, my only concern is, I know city manager always shares our GRT with me, and I'm always being conservative about it, and especially with our budget coming up. And I know, I just don't want nobody to assume just because they see the balance, our balance in the bank is hefty, that we could just start spending. The only reason why, our last GRT report was below what we planned it for this fiscal year. Anything below 850 is that means we got to pull that money from somewhere else. So it concerns me because even Rake County is below 600 right now and so forth, but it could go up tomorrow. But you could tell it has slowed down here in Lovington. But I just want to say that we're going into this new fiscal year. Please keep that in mind, that don't base it off our bank account, because a lot of that money came from the county and so forth, and it wasn't created through our GRTs and other areas. So I just ask staff to continue to be conservative in your daily operation. Also, just always remember that we froze a lot of positions, still not unfrozen. And so that's also a clear sign that we're still not to where we need to be at. Eventually we'll get there, but we still have positions that are frozen, and we're barely meeting the GRT numbers. So just keep that in mind. And this new fiscal year starts July 1, and just stay conservative, because you never know what could happen. That's all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner White. Commissioner Gandy.
But I guess I'm still under the curve, so
Of course you are.
repeating what Scott Bolt said, shop local, buy local, eat local, bank local, buy your electricity local. Hey, do we have utilities? We really don't, but I just thought I'd throw it out there because you don't want them to feel left out, you know? Huh?
Watch local.
Wash local, yeah. Use your city water to bathe. That's a good point, Mr. Trio. Appreciate that. Oh, we have car wash. That's what it is. Yes, laundromat. We have laundromat too. So, there are several things that we have. We have new things coming into the community. I drove around, recently and, I was trying to think over the, long term of, I was trying to say that, not tacky. The long term of serving as the city commissioner, the things that we didn't have and the things that we have now. And we should be appreciative because we have more things now that we didn't have then. So, and we still don't have enough, but we have other things coming in. And within the next 2 years, we should have several new exciting things coming into our community that should allow us more options to shop, whether that be food or groceries or farm and ranching supplies or just a multitude of things that we didn't have in the past, and we've got selection now. So, and hoping to see more and more, maybe clothing stores or something like that come in. That would be phenomenal. I know our EDC is doing, she's checking stuff off the list, so that's even a better thing. So phenomenal. So I would encourage those locally to, the more we shop local, the better we support our own community. That's help for our parks improvements, our water improvements, our city improvements. I mean, we've restaffed and we have lots of new people that weren't here before and they're doing a phenomenal job. And, you know, so I think there's a round of applause that should go to our staff. You know? So people that stepped up and have taken a big chunk of boulder and moved forward with our community. So, I mean, like they said, the last one here, turn off the lights and there's no reason to leave Lovington. We have everything you need right here. And if we don't, well, Amazon delivers. But, but other than that, I know that there's in my neighborhood, there's a few street lights that are out and a couple other, I know they have put up some new LED lights that are absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
But they make the other parts of town look really hard. So, but, thanks to the co-op working on those. Trying to think of something else positive to say.
Well, about a year ago, one of the streetlights was laying in the street.
Well, yeah, I was right after a meeting, you know,
Yeah,
which is large at the city commission where the light pole over and almost in my house. But, yeah, no, I would just continue to support the, you know, we had the, what was it, Smoking on the Plaza here recently.
Yes.
I missed that somehow. I don't know why. We have the 4th of July festivities coming up. And so there's lots of things positive in our community, even though if you listen to crap book or get caught up in that drama, you know, they'll say negative things about every part of our community. But the reality is if you drive around long enough and you know, we have a brand new facility on the south side of town. If you need a micro vacation, I mean, as soon as you drive into the parking lot, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's wonderful. It's a different atmosphere than other places that we've shopped before, but you know you're home as soon as you drive out of the driveway. So it's a micro vacation, I say. So, but other than that, I'm excited to see their community grow. And again, eat local, shop local, and bake local as much as you absolutely can. Other than that, I have no other wise cracks to say this evening.
Sounds good. Thank you, Commissioner. Ms. Cooper.
Staff has been working the past couple of weeks to close out all of our accounts payable. We basically shut everything down last week and working with department heads this week to get all the final invoices in and contact companies where we have open POs just to make sure if we have open invoices with them. So it took the entire team last week, but we did a stack of accounts payable and got them done. So thanks to my team for working hard on that. We'll be working on closing out the fiscal year and finishing up May and June, and then working on doing the final budget. We'll bring that to the commission on the meeting on the 22nd of July for the final budget approval. Let's do it July 31st.
So we're gonna make the closeout. We're gonna have good numbers turn in and all of that. Feeling really confident. Awesome. Oh, okay, maybe I pushed the last part of that.
Well, and as Skip mentioned, EMS has had some billing challenges, so we're probably gonna see, that particular department, we're gonna see that because the billing is what helps pay the bills, because it is,
Right.
an enterprise fund, so there may be some transfers that we have to do to that particular fund and then transfer it back when they actually do start getting their billing in. So we'll find, more of those things as we're finishing cleanup.
Sounds good. All right. Questions? Hearing none. We'll move on. Thank you, Mr. Appreciate it. City manager.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, as Commissioner Trujillo mentioned, the latest GRT figure, which is for the month of April, came in at $843,000, which compares to $913,000 for the previous month and compares to $867,000 for the same period a year ago. Thus, our current 12-month trailing GRT average stands at $934,000 per month. Youth Center update, we are set to open our summer program on July 1st, Monday, and our enrollment stands currently at 42 kids. The back fence is halfway completed. The foam insulation project for the gym is 2/3 completed. We are fully staffed. We have 15 desktop computers up and running. The fire suppression system passed inspection. Food licenses are being obtained and work continues. And the cost is $50 per child for the entire month. The street department alley grading project has started in District 2. By the end of the project, they will have graded every alley in the city.
When?
We don't have a time frame.
Oh, okay. I thought you said sometime. and I was like-
By the time they're done, it could
By
be 2
the,
years.
by the time, or the end of the program,
So
they will be completed.
this is gonna be tacky, but can we have, even if it's, can we have an end time for that? That way we don't sound like Main Street? I understand we're gonna have weather conditions, we're gonna have other things that get in the way, but at least we have a goal to set towards, and we'll have other repairs to make while we go down the alleyways, Hopefully not. Just fences, whatever's in the way.
It's been done in over 20 years.
I agree with you.
It wasn't done before I started here. So.
And there's a lot of things that are stacked in it.
Yeah, so there's gonna be some removal of things and different things like that. We just kind of had a basic
Time frame.
pretend thing.
I will get with Bernardo and get you that system.
Now, it's stuff that's in the alley there, David, that has to be
Well,
moved.
so I told Bernardo to coordinate with code enforcement a week or two ahead of time when it's projected. And that way she can go through ahead of time and get people to move all their stuff out.
There's an issue with somebody with a trailer or something, big
Trailers,
trailer.
RVs, everything.
And if we could see about doing that maybe it would alleviate some of the work that city's gonna have to do as far as getting rid of that stuff. Maybe people, I don't know.
It's
Like
our
you
property.
said, that's accumulated over the years, so maybe a little bit of advance notice that they have, maybe help us out too, so.
Right.
I just put that further last week. It's
going on.
Right now, he's in your district, I believe between Main and Love, going down those alleys, but I'll try to get him to kind of give me a schedule as to what his, targets are, and we can get out ahead of time and get.
District 4 be last?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have time to move some stuff.
I will be attending the Norley Board of Directors meeting this Wednesday, where they will be voting on the paramedicine agreement with the city that this commission has previously passed. I'm waiting for an estimate for a general contract, from a general contractor for the potential repairs to the Troy Harris building, namely to seal the gaps which exist between where the false ceiling meets the walls and to make the structure more energy efficient. Both the EDC and Main Street have expressed a desire to move back into that building if possible. At the next meeting, we will present the commission with our list of departmental ICIP requests for prioritization. This final ranking is due July 12th. We will send out a list to the commission well before the meeting for review. The long-awaited repairs to the South Main Street Railroad crossing began today This Texas, New Mexico, and NMDOT joint project will be entirely paid for by them and is expected to take about a week to 10 days. They are using Constructors Inc. as the general contractor.
4 weeks.
I said by the end.
This is a 5-year
Sorry,
fix.
that was supposed to be my invoice. You can strike that from the minutes. Yeah.
This is a 5-year fix using asphalt and removing the plastic blocks.
They said 2.
What?
They said 2, because I said, you said concrete and you're using blacktop, and he said, no, this is gonna be a quickie fix for flats, and it's in 2 years, we're gonna look at putting in concrete.
Right, so.
So better be 2, not 5.
Well, so
They
this
said
is
two.
over $500,000 that the permanent fix is
Doesn't matter, they
concrete.
said 2.
Yeah. But we will go after that funding as well for a permanent fix. Next, I wanted to have Kevin come up to address something that the mayor had asked about previously. And also to talk about our water rates project. The mayor had asked, is there any way for citizens to kind of contact City Hall, either to give tips or information or complaints, kind of a central clearinghouse? And I didn't know, I don't think a lot of people are aware of this, but if you go to our webpage and you go you hit contact us under more, it does take you to.
It's lovingtoncares.org.
Okay,
So this-
back up, sorry, for the computer illiterate that I'm
Sorry.
sitting
On the
up
city
here.
website,
Okay,
Lovington.org,
but go, I got that part, go to.
More.
More.
and then contact us.
Oh, okay.
So this was set up long before I got here, I think.
Yes.
It's just lovingtoncares.org. And it's just a form that anyone can use to send a message to any department. So I know David gets a lot, so we can just do that.
So it's kind of a general catch-all where you can specify a department. That lady said, well, I don't know quite who I'm supposed to talk to. I know they pop up on my email. I get about 5 to 7 a week. So I don't know if that's what the mayor had in mind, but for sure, we need to get this information out there that this is available because
Yeah, we need to, I mean, I don't typically put on, or tap on more when I'm on the website, you know, but.
Maybe contact us. Or
Yeah,
something like that would be good.
or even highlight, you know, put a little picture that says, if you haven't been here lately, you please notice that we have this. It will be, someone will be watching, we will pass it to.
And it arrives to me in the form of an email. A lot of times, when I come in on Monday morning, I'll get 2 or 3.
And they also go to Cassidy, so it depends on the department. So I think they all go to Cassidy to the front desk, and then depending on what department it needs to go to, she will forward them. So I know I get a lot of questions about water accounts, you know, people's water bills, things like that.
There's gonna be a lot more.
Yes.
Animals, code enforcement, water, utilities. But we are working on revamping our website in general. But I think if this is what the mayor had in mind, we need to do a better job of getting this out there as a tool for the public to use. So we'll work on this, if that's kind of what you're talking about. And
We just need a conduit.
Yes.
Be able to
So
pass ideas through or whatever, so.
this is in place, it just needs to be kind of more robust. And then Kevin was going to talk about, I've been working on a resolution on our water rates, not only applying correct rates, but revising our wastewater rates and other things.
David has been working on the rates, but I've also been working on just overhauling our ordinances for our water department. I think there are some things that that are unclear. There needs to be things like if your account goes past a high balance, I think it should be terminated. If you don't pay your bills after a certain amount, I think that should be set. There's a lot of things within the ordinances that give me a lot of judgment calls, which I don't think should be that way. I think if there's certain things that should be applied to everyone fairly. So that's something that I'm working on. One of the things that I thought about today, actually, because of our rates changing, was our deposits. Now, I've asked a few people here within our city what they think about increasing our deposits. I've gotten yes, I've gotten no, and another recommendation was to ask you guys. So currently, our residential owner deposit is $85. That's for someone who owns a home, or, paying their mortgage. Residential renters with no waiver, meaning we have a waiver where a property owner can sign whenever they're setting up the account, where under our city code, it says that the owner of the property will be held liable if there's anything left on the bill. It does not go to the account holder. And then with a waiver is $240 if someone rented. Commercial is $85 for the.
Okay, back up. 240 is.
$240 is if the owner has a waiver where they are not responsible.
So the renter
would be held.
Would be charged $240 deposit.
Yeah, well, they're charged the $240 deposit if the owner decides to have that waiver. So,
Sure.
Yes, and then for commercial accounts, it's $85 for the owner. And then for commercial properties that are being rented, it's $290 deposit. So I wanted to get your guys' opinions on if you think we should increase these. One thing that I've noticed since I've been part of or head of the water department is a lot of accounts that have been in the past that just leave a high balance, where it doesn't feel like our deposits would, one deposit of a residential owner would cover 1 month of their bill. But there's people that are leaving $300, $400 bills that we can try to make the owner pay. Or, if they have a waiver, it's kind of hard to get that money back. And that's one thing that I do see quite a lot, especially now that we're going to be changing our water rates or applying them as they should be. I'm thinking that I'm going to see a lot of this where our deposit will simply not be enough for people leaving their unpaid accounts.
Yeah, because the way the billing works out, it's almost 60 days till they really get their first bill, so they already got over $200 something worth.
Right, yeah, that could be, so, it could be theoretically 176 around there, if they don't pay 2 months, which, in my view, that's, time to disconnect your account.
Well, approximately 40 years ago, trying to remember, that's about when we used to charge, back then, I believe it was $25. But after you had a year of service, that was refunded. Is either taken off your bill or you could ask for it however you wanted. So I don't know how we changed that over the years to, like I said, I don't know, because you could switch locations without having to put a new deposit, since it was just a transfer of location. But there's a lot of people that may not even have a deposit on the books.
Yeah, there's certainly cases where I found that there are some accounts that don't have deposits. I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard to try to figure out why.
Yeah, well, and if they've been there that long and they have a good history of paying, I don't think, but I would just say, find out what local area municipalities are doing and try to keep it in some kind of line there.
Okay, so let me ask it. There is an option to increase them, if that's what I'm getting.
So let me ask a question real quick. So based off of what the average consumer uses monthly, what is that average? I mean, you're taking everybody, what's that monthly average cost?
I think we saw that under,
Nationally,
85%.
it's 3,000 to 4,000 gallons, but we're a little higher than that.
Right, and that's unfortunately held up by our rates problem. It's.
So would you say monthly, on the average, a monthly bill for the citizens in Lovington runs $75 to $100, or?
Well, we're billing incorrectly.
Yeah.
We're building.
It runs 8808 or whatever it is, because that's all we bill for.
I recently asked Kevin, how many of our customers, residential of course, use 15,000 gallons a month or less, winter, summer, and about 80 to 85%. So when we start applying the freshwater rates correctly, we get about 15 to 20% of the citizens will be affected. But the vast majority use under 12,000 gallons. In the winter months, it goes down to 3,000 or 4,000 gallons. Is that fair?
I would have to honestly have to run for the 3 months, but it is significantly lower in the winter months.
But on the other hand, we are tying our wastewater rates to our freshwater usage. So when that goes up in the summer, so does the wastewater rates. And we're gonna average that out. We're gonna base wastewater rates off of winter water consumption, which is a lot more fair because you're not watering your lawn, washing your cars, filling your swimming pools.
Right.
So that's something that we're gonna do that's more fair to the public.
I just figure if you took the average, increased it by 20%, and then that multiplied it by 2, that gives you 2 months ahead. And, so as a deposit, and then if they haven't paid in 35 days, 45 days, increase our billing to where it's not such a long drag behind. If we got more accurate on that. And then, in 45 days, that way you're not running over what they already have deposited into that account. And then you could, if the person closes out their account, then they could recoup their deposit at the end of that term or whatever that would be. I mean, that's kind of how we do our uniforms. We have an X set amount of dollars, half the value of the uniforms the guys pay out over a period of time. And then we hold that money, and then once they return all the uniforms, so there's no deductions or anything like that, we reimburse them for that deal. But it's just a way to make sure that you get paid what's due you. So, if you had a cutoff at 45 days, that way they're not over 60, that's more than that's something I would see that would be not too unbearable possibly.
Okay.
Is this for new customers?
Yes.
Okay.
This would be for any customers.
And how about you cut someone off, and then what is gonna be the deposit after that?
The new rate would be applied.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what the situation was for cutting them off. There's.
Right, there's cutting them off and then there's really cutting them off, because we'll cut someone off at first and they'll go sometimes they'll go tamper with the meter or break the meter. So then we have to cut them off at the main, which means we have to dig up the alley and actually physically cut them off. And what I suggested to Kevin is the fee to reestablish water connection for that should be a lot higher, because it involved the whole crew for 2 hours, as opposed to someone just shutting off the meter. So we have 2 tiers of cutoffs.
So
what is our current, okay, I realize what we have on the books.
Right.
What do we actually do on cancellation of service right now? I mean,
it depends on how far back the account. This was something that I talked to and then decided. So if the account, right now there's been a lot of accounts that just weren't disconnected, so we're going back through those. If the account is higher than $1,000, I would say that's definitely for finalizing your account, and you would have to pay an entirely new deposit. Currently, I believe we have, if you don't pay by the 26th, you are cut off of that month. So if you don't.
We actually do that. Because
Yes.
there was a while because.
Yeah, no, we definitely are doing that.
Okay. All right.
Yes, so we definitely are doing that, where we disconnect people if they don't pay after that day on the 11th, which would be, so your bill is due on the 10th, that's what our ordinance says, and then we do disconnects on the 11th. If you don't pay, I would say by the following month on the 26th, that's when your account is finalized, where you would have to do a new deposit entirely. Just because there has been a lot of accounts, and this is not to throw any sort of shade at the previous position, it's just, I believe she had a lot going on, and the department there's a lot to handle within that department, and it's a little overwhelming sometimes. So I don't blame her for any of the stuff now, it's just a lot of work. And I know back during the COVID days when there weren't doing any disconnects, right? So that made it even harder.
Yeah, that was the harder part too, is that they were also told, don't do disconnects.
Yeah, right,
So
right,
then people
so-
build up higher and higher balances.
Right.
So there was a whole different mindset than me
Right.
cut you off
Do you
there.
send out disconnect notices or not?
No, we do not.
Well, they get a bill. They
Right,
get a-
on the bottom of the bill, because the bill is due and then the final date, but we do not do disconnect notices as a company.
Okay, so back over the time.
Yes, sir.
We send it out, or it's due on the 10th.
It's due on the 10th, yes, sir.
If it's not paid on the 10th, then what happens on the 11th?
You're disconnected.
On the 11th, it's a.
Well, the
late fee
11th,
charge.
sorry, that's for the previous month.
Yeah, on the 11th, so if you don't pay on the 11th, you're charged a late fee the first month.
Right.
Correct.
And the second month, by
The
the
second
11th, you're
month, if
done.
you haven't paid again by the 11th, so if you're 2 months in arrear,
Yeah,
you get added to the disconnect list.
which is the 26th, and that's when you are disconnected.
Connected.
So it's effectively, the reason that
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out,
So they're 2.5
what, if
months
the 2
behind.
months is enough to,
Yeah.
you know.
It's almost 3 months.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
because
it's 2.5
it's
months
for-
before they hit a cutoff.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I think, yeah, there's just a lot of,
I've thought about sending out disconnect notices, and don't we put a notice on the door or not?
a door knocker. Well, it depends on what it's for. So we have those, but we use those for checks, accounts that we can't draw, we get.
I think a notice might have to go out and just notify people before you cut off the water.
I think it would be in our best interest. And also, as far as with our new rates, before we
We're gonna
put them
educate
in.
the public, yes.
Yes, because I know we talk about it here all the time, but
Right.
to public,
And that being said, the commission should know that, when we start applying the correct freshwater rates again, that's gonna bring out if people are using a lot of water. If the issue is on our end, we're gonna cover that. If they discover, because we're now billing correctly, that they may have an underground leak, let's say, we will work with them for the first 3 or so months. So we're not gonna just cut people off. We will work with them because by applying the right rates, it's gonna shed light on,
Right.
oh, I've been using all this water. It hasn't come out because we haven't been billing correctly, but now there you go, you know exactly. Because if you look at your water bill, it will tell you how many gallons you use. It says it.
right, and I think another thing, like we said with the Lovington Cares, put that on your main page, that people can see that if they have questions, they can address whoever need be. And I think that would be a good thing. And having that enabled here a month or two before we start doing this stuff, because if that's there, that'll be less burden all at once, if people know it.
Educate the public.
Right.
So that's one thing that we wanted to do is we discussed that, when our rates are getting ready to change, we will do, our rates are changing and then the education, flyers, like the mayor suggested of water conservation, things like that, things that you can do in your home, to stop using so much water.
Just to raise awareness.
I've had people ask me about it already, and I said, just because we're raising the rates doesn't mean that I myself, my rates are getting raised too. It's affecting everybody, and it could be in a good way too.
Right.
So,
And if you look at it on the face of it, the rates we're supposed to be charging are pretty much in the middle of different rates around the state. But since we haven't been charging those rates by a factor of 10, I can safely say we've had the cheapest water in the state of New Mexico for the past 10 years.
So, I have one more question. Why did we start billing so far behind?
Oh, well, I think one of the things that I discovered is that Encode handles billing windows by default in 30-day increments. And I don't think ever since, I think it's been, I was talking to Tyler Tech Support and they showed me that it was never adjusted for 365 days. So
Just gets a little further.
yes, every year it gets further and further behind.
We were
because
losing
they never
5 days
adjusted
a
for
year.
the 5 days a year. Right, yeah. So in order to catch that up, to get our billing done, the way that they suggested was increase the billing window by 5 to 10 days every month until we catch up.
You said it would be about 5 months,
I think
right,
so,
to
yes.
catch up. Just kind of do it gradually and we'll get caught up and then we'll stay on it.
Keep moving forward.
Yes, that's
13 months a year, that's how it works. So,
Yeah, and one thing to note on disconnections, if somebody calls us and has something going on and they work with us, we do not go disconnect them. They absolutely can come and call and we'll work with them and do what we can. That's all it takes is a phone call and just to talk to somebody and let us know what's going on and we'll work it out with them, so.
We had a customer just this afternoon, Commissioner Trujillo walked in on it. They owed over $3,000 and we finally cut them off and I'm like, they came in and this and that. And I'm like, why couldn't we have this conversation 9 months ago? And they admitted that they just put it off. It took, sometimes you gotta cut people's water off to get their attention, but we will always work with you.
Yeah, I'm not a heartless person by any means, and especially I understand that people do need water, right? This is it's a hard position to be in. When, like I said, they make certain judgment calls that sometimes I don't like to, but I have to.
We just have to see some kind of effort on their part.
Well, what we need to also do is come up, when we get our side kind of lined out, then we can look at what the average cutoff amount is and adjust our deposits. I mean, if our average, if their bill is $180 typically when we cut it off, then that may be where we want to be, something like that, but.
For sure, it should probably be more than it currently is.
But I think the end result is we get a plan together, we put the plan together, and we stay firm, we cut everybody off when it's time to cut off. Because Lee County Electric over here, both guys to my right, they cut off when it's cut off. We're the only ones that are nice guys, and then the nice guys finish last because everybody bitches at us, And I know I sound mean about that, but I don't see no other organization giving somebody $3,000 credit and not being there,
And what I said to the customer
Yeah.
today is it's like your credit card. They want a payment every month, and if you don't pay them 1 month, they're just gonna keep accumulating and eventually,
But if we stay firm and we just start it, once we get our rates and everything done, from that point forward, we just have to stay firm. We just have to cut off because once you give one person a break, you have to give everybody a break. And we just need to start somewhere.
That me going over the ordinances is to do that, to stop me from making so many judgment calls. And we can say, hey, these are ordinances that were voted on by your representatives, right? These are things that we can have in writing that we can fall back on.
Tighten up the loose ends.
As far as with them rates there, Kevin, I agree with Robbie, what other municipalities are doing. If you could take and bring some figures in front of us, and we could take a look at them and see what we have here, and we can make decisions on that.
Okay.
And we're trying to do this all at once. The commission had previously expressed a desire not to drag this out and we're gonna try to do this in one shot with one resolution, revise the ordinances and move forward. And that way it's not dragged out and maybe there'll be tweaks that are needed, but we're trying to fix this once and for all.
I agree.
And then it'll be the Lovington Cares is really the hang the city manager website.
I thought that's what it said already.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. And not to belabor the fact of water, but Robert Perez, our utilities director, wanted to give the commission a little update about some topics that he's been dealing with lately.
You found a whole new source of fresh water that is self-generating, all of that, right?
What did you kind of say? Because over on that side, you get that later on.
Okay, we are getting to where we're gonna start doing the sampling for the state. The lead and copper sampling, it gets done every 3 years. We're in the process of doing that. We'll start July the 1st. In the meantime, we're installing 30 sampling stations in the alleys of the houses. You can just hook up your meter to it, your sampling, instead of having to go to people's houses, inside their houses, and do it from there. So we're in the process of doing that also. We are still doing the lead and copper testing of the pipes. We are at 25.9% of the meters on both city and customer side.
And let me stop you there. So that is an EPA mandated project that's due, it's all 50 states, it's due October 16th, and every municipality has to do it. And Robert and Kevin and the department have undertaken it after we got quoted. Someone offered to do it for $100,000 for us. And we don't have to be at 100% or even 50%, and we don't have to have any of them fixed by October 16th, or identified. However, we have to show a system and progress. So at this rate, these guys are gonna save us over $100,000 by doing it in-house. We hired a couple summer help guys, right? And we have a couple dedicated people, so they've done a great job at that.
I would honestly like to say thank you to Robert and all the guys that work outside that bring me all the information, because I'm lucky enough to sit inside, every day. And these guys are working out there 100, 105. You guys know how hot it is out there.
Because basically, you gotta get in the water can and.
You dig out both sides, both ends of it, see if it's, lead, copper, galvanized, whatever, PVC on both sides.
So it's a magnet test and a scratch test. So you actually have to touch each meter. And we have 4,500.
Yes, sir. So that's where we're at. We're at, like I said, we've got 1,063 out of the 1,092, which is it's a good thing. We have all of our wells in the well field are working. We don't have anything down. Well 9 has been used by Navajo for 3 days here last week. Tanks went down a little bit, but we caught up with once they stopped. We have fixed 32 water leaks in town in the last 45 days. 3 at the cheese plant. Those keep happening because all the weight, I think, right the way they turn at the same spot, most times the same spot.
So what would it take to fix that for a year?
Keep the weight off the road.
Realistically.
Keep the weight. If we can come off that side of the road, we thought about even doing it when they turn, because all that weight is right there on that spot. We've got, I think that line's 4 foot down, and you've got rocks. Nobody in the past, when they replaced the line, you're supposed to
Line it's embedded.
all that good stuff. It went down with rocks on top of it, and the weight's piercing and cracking.
Is it a PVC line?
But it's PVC. Yes.
So from where to where, refresh my memory, I know it's the cheese plant, but all I can envision is the lake by the gas meters.
Well, Gilmore Road to Simpson Drive is the worst part.
Okay.
That's the worst of it.
So what is that, a mile?
Probably 3/4 mile.
3/4 of a mile?
Oh, they got all that traffic from construction going through there
On top of
too.
it.
Yeah, on top of that.
That was there until
Tetraplay.
last
And it's a main line, so we have to have it, so, and then the road is so horrible on top of that, it's just a project that Crystal will probably have to address after we got through demoing that, so you're looking at good, what? $400,000?
at least, just to do it. I've gotten Ramirez and Son to give us an estimate quote. I'll see what it, just for the future, see what we take to repair that road and the pipe underneath and stuff. So
That'd be, well, if we did that, then we'd free up our manpower for something else, and then,
yes,
we're spending all our
we've got
time.
lots of other stuff going on. You've got lease in town. We've got a little bit of everything going on.
So, at some point, yeah, it's gonna have to be a project. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's see, we got that was for the water department, wastewater. We've got everything going the way it's supposed to. We've got 72 people have used the R&D park, RV dumping, since we had them call in and set appointments. on that part, which is going good. Let me see. We cleaned out the Dog Pound Road meters and we repaired those. We've also cleaned out the dog pound itself. We cleaned everything out of there. For now, it's just empty. Maybe we could use it for some kind of storage or something. It's just an empty building that's there. It's vandalized. Now that it's clean, maybe it'll keep people away. That's another thing we've done there. Robert?
Do you want to talk about your plans moving?
Yes, sir. We're hoping to move the water department back into the old water department yard right here on the street by the post office. It's a smaller building, but I think where we're at now, I think it's just overwhelming. It's too much for what we need. I think it's a good idea to move it back. We cleaned it up. We've done a lot of work there. It'll save the city money, in getting another building planned for another department. Plus, it'll keep vandalism away from there. It's another building that's just empty. It's not getting used. We're using it. We're in the process of trying to get moved over to that department. Separate everything back out.
And the street department could expand down on the Avenue H location, which they've needed to do. So, this is something Robert volunteered for. I didn't think it was feasible or desirable.
I didn't think anybody really wanted to go back down there.
Exactly.
They want to be closer to you.
There you go.
Are we going to, I don't know if it's still there, do we still have a fill station behind there?
I think
people ask me all the
they did away
time.
with it. I think they
Did
did away
they?
with it.
Okay, yeah, I know we can do fire hydrant meters, but not on, it's difficult. Situation was a hydrovac needed some water in another municipality and they called me and said, do you have anybody we can call? And I did, but I guess Roswell has one that's set up where if you have access, then it'll bill you or whatever. And, it's hard on a weekend or something to find water for whatever emergency they come up with.
And we thought after we got in there and stuff, something we could look into, whatever it takes to get it back to that before.
All right.
Just another thing that would, in the future.
Talking about water meters on fire hydrants, there's one on 107K over there in that dead end cul-de-sac. Just saw it out of the corner of my eye, fingers got a little sticky. It gets $5 for it or something.
Yeah,
But
I
I didn't know if that was something that was being utilized or not. It just seemed like it was in a weird spot.
It is, it's getting utilized. We've got 4 of those in town that they're being used that way, so.
No problem.
We are also fixing to start with in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna replace 15 fire hydrants. We're gonna try to get the ones in town in the business area first, and then we'll move from there. So that's in the works also. We have lots of stuff coming, lots of stuff going. It's just finding the time and everything to, prioritize whatever's more important as we're going forward. So.
And I believe you're fully staffed, right?
Not after the day. We'll be too short after the day, but we'll get there again, and we'll be.
It's never ending battle.
But we'll get there again, and we'll be right back where we started. I think everything is going forward. We've had some setbacks, I think we're getting there. It'll take a bit more time.
We did, for the third consecutive year, we did not create the third consecutive year of losing water in June. So for that alone,
that's gone.
You've made it, yeah. Exactly.
Again, wastewater, we've done lots of stuff out there. You can see 22 feet down. Now you can see the diffusers it's at here.
Oh, awesome.
We've been on 3 weeks. You can stand up there, you can see all those 22 feet down, you can see the diffusers and everything else. So, and also want to say thank you to Ron and Mark Price. We did a little sign out in front of the wastewater plant sign. This is something inexpensive. It's just something different. But thank you to them. They took the time to do that for us. Other than that, I think we're good there. Any questions or anything?
Questions, Commissioner? Thank you, handle it, Robert. We appreciate it very, very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So my apologies to the commission for the extended staff report, but I just wanted you to see that, we have really competent people in good positions doing good work for the city. So like Commissioner Bolt said, I think we're moving forward. We're going to continue to fight the good fight and get things done. So I'll be happy to stand for any questions.
Okay, questions? I think I had one, but I've forgotten now what it was, so. But we do, good news is always well received.
And just to keep the commission informed also, it's always better to be a department head, hear it from the horse's mouth, so.
All right. Yes, sir, you're covering for Crystal.
Yes, I am. She is away for the week and I am sending it for her.
All right.
At the moment, I don't have any comments.
But you'll be up on here in just a few minutes.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh, yes, sir.
And I don't know who I should ask this of. It might be you, David, also, as far as with the, on Central there in front of the courthouse. We're getting with Pettigrew as far as
Yes, sir.
the water that's pooling there. I just wanted to find out what's going on.
Yes, I think he gave us an approximate quote for what it would cost for his services, and he's coming up with those drawings. Everybody thought it was a great idea, you know, they're moving up in that direction, why not? Because, kind of, Robert really brought it to my attention that, you know, this happens every time we get a good rain, and it sits there for 3 days, and they gotta take the back truck there to get it. So, this will be a permanent solution.
Now's the time to tackle it.
Yes, sir.
And just keep me up on that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. We don't have a lawyer here this evening, so we'll move on. This brings us to our public comment. Thank you for patiently waiting as we've gone through our commissioner staff report. We invite you to the podium. Please come out and state your name. Tell us what you want us to hear. Try to keep it under 3 minutes or so. And the podium is yours if you want it. I see no one's up and up.
1, 2, 3, let's move forward.
We're moving on. All right. Non-action items, I see none. So Commissioner Gainey.
Mr. Mayor, as we move into action items, I would like to make a motion for resolution 2024-058, approval of vacation of the north 40 foot of East Tyler.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second to consider this resolution. It's like city manager. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Sorry, you were looking intently, so I thought.
This is Gabriel.
Yeah.
All right, Gabriel.
I did want to invite, if Robert Fiero has anything to say on this, is this project, some people like to get out there, just kind of present it to the commission.
All right, my name's Robert Fiero. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Yeah, I'll get to sleep, I guess. So I'm looking to vacate 40 feet of right of way. This Tyler Street's the north 40 of Tyler. That's undeveloped currently. And this is part of the Bernal Townhome subdivision that I'm trying to bring in the 40 feet to create the subdivision that's on the next agenda item. So this land that's north of the Tyler Street, it's 2 acres, it's an entire block, 240 by 300, it's a shorter block. So getting this extra 40 feet will help make the block a regular size. And the south 40 feet, not looking to vacate. That would be with the other owner if they wish to do so. But I do want to put utilities in the south 40 feet as part of the development for the Bernal Townhome subdivision.
So just so I make sure I understand. So off of the north fence of the, what used to be a blue building, now the black building, I don't even remember what trucking company that was. Choice. Yes, that's it, Choice, thank you. So 40 feet off their fence line will be their easement?
So that fence is encroaching into the right of way by
Okay.
like 5 feet. So it's pretty much from where the building is. That's a 5 foot off. So 5 feet off of that building. So that from that building, 45 feet would be the center line of Tyler Street. So I'm asking to vacate from that center line going another 40 feet.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I mean, I'm assuming
And this is-
Robert, everybody's decided there's nothing there and we're pretty sure of that before.
Correct, we're pretty sure on that, and, the planning and zoning, meeting, we all were in agreement to that, so it was just a matter of bringing it up to you guys and letting you all know what's going on, and if nobody had anything opposing to that, then we would be going forward with that.
In that area, which way do the water and sewer lines run?
So, there's water and sewer in Love Street.
Okay.
And then there's a water line north, which would be on Polk, that runs east-west. And there's also like the alley to the east of this block and alley to the west, there's water and sewer that's potentially could be connected to.
Okay, so you're thinking of taking that stuff and running that back to the east? That's
I would
kind
like
of
to
your
run
plan?
to the east will probably be the better drainage for the sewer.
Do the normal drainage of the southeast, so that makes sense. So, okay.
Is there any neighbor that would have, I mean, when you vacate, as you know, when you vacate an easement, it affects everyone. Are you completely encompassed around that particular piece of property?
Yeah, so I've been surveying in Lovington since 2013. I had an office here for 2 years, but it was hard to manage staff here. But I did work on it in like 2014, 2015. I worked on what used to be Choice. They vacated the right of way that was south of their property, and at that time they didn't want to vacate what was north of it. And I know the neighbor that's along Eddy Street. But yeah, there's hasn't been any protests.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead.
How many homes do you figure you could put on that 2 acres?
16.
16.
No.
So it would be 4,
4, 8, 12,
16. It would be 4 regular homes, which would be detached, and then townhomes in the middle, which would be 12 attached homes. But they'll be duplexes, so 2.
Yeah, I'll have the slides for that after this.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, now, then we can get to the subdivision. So.
Okay, sorry, jumped the gun. I was just sorry.
All right, any further questions on the vacation? Hearing none, Shannon?
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes. Okay. Don't leave.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was so excited about new houses. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-059, approval of preliminary Brunel townhome subdivision. Second.
Okay. Motion and second for consideration of this resolution. April?
Yeah, sorry about that, I was getting to my spot.
No.
So this is, the approval for the Bernal townhomes, and right there on the PowerPoint, we have like a layout of what he's thinking of getting set up. And it's gonna be 4 homes, correct, on the corners?
Yeah, the corners will be detached homes.
Yeah.
So regular houses, about 1,500 to 1,800 square feet.
What size lots?
So the end lots is your standard size, minimum width 50 feet. Those are the corners. The ones in the middle are 36 feet wide. So that leaves enough room to put like a 31-foot wide home part of it. Or it would be for the entire building, it would be 62 feet, which would end up, if you have two bedroom with 2-car garage, that'd be like a 1,600 square foot home. We have a 1-bedroom or a 1-car garage with a 3-bedroom home, it would be about like 1,800 square feet. But I'm not too sure on the sizes, if you could zoom in, but probably see.
I just know if
Yeah,
they
what's
were
the
5,000.
Yeah.
5,000 square foot.
They're
I know
50.
that's like the minimum or something.
It's on
50
there.
by 140 or 36 by 140.
Right.
So the
So I don't
lot
have my
sizes,
calculator on me.
that's on there.
Yeah, because I don't know what the square footage of that is.
7,000 on the big ones and
Let's see.
How much on the big one, 6,000?
5,000 on the small.
Right at 5,000.
Yeah, 5,040.
Yeah, 5,000.
Only thing sucks about that is because that's the same size lots that are over there off of 7th Street. And there's no parking. And then guys are jacked in there every stinking way you can think of. That's the only thing I hate about that, because we don't have single car families anymore. We have 40 car families. 12 cars. I know I got 6 or 7 myself, but. Huh? So you know where the water tower is? Over there on Pope and 7th, they're right in that range?
Oh,
All
yeah.
those houses back to the.
Yeah, where they
there.
dropped them to 5,000.
Yeah, we dropped them to 5,000 feet, and then it just, there's no yard, there's no nothing, there's
Well, there's no
a
street.
boat, a house, a street, a pickup halfway out in the street because of a dually or a crew cab, so yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but,
But heck, man.
We have a slide of the typical lot layout.
so, no, I just,
But you know, the crazy part about it's probably the trend now, as much as housing costs these days, shoot.
I realize that, if I don't complain about it, then I just sit and fume about it. So.
Yeah, you got kids that are 40 years old still living at home.
I can't help that. I can't help
And then you
that.
have to clean a lot and they can.
They won't leave.
You
And
said
they
that
have 2
today.
cars each.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get my parents to leave. They just leave and have the house.
The townhomes is a solution for that, actually. So some families could like live in one part of the duplex and their extended family on the other half. Or like, they could also help for like people that rent homes. They could live in one of the units and then rent out the one that's next to theirs.
So all of the smaller lots that we're talking about, other than the Four Corners, will have a townhome on it.
Yes.
On page 10 in here, I think it has the
Yeah.
the layout of it.
I mean, I can see it, I just, yeah,
It kind of shows what.
Yeah, it all shows it on
I just
there. Nice
didn't
layout.
flip over to it.
I just want to add, in 2013, when I did start my business here, I was in the Lovington leader, and one of the questions is what kind of projects I would want to work on, and it was housing at the time. So I have worked on some housing projects here. The one on Avenue K with cul-de-sac, that was the Bzowski subdivision. I worked on that one. I worked on some in Bay, several like little lot splits. But I'm excited to bring this here if it gets approved, because it'll be my personal project.
The only question I have is, how are they gonna be, the house is gonna be built as far as pitched for when we get our deluge of rain all at once? Or where's the runoff gonna go?
So he actually has a solution to that as well. I believe it's on, let's see what slide. Buildings, retention a little bit to where in the backyard, it'll actually go there first before causing any other problem to the actual city.
As far as the roofing, I want to keep the roofs kind of like separate, so like one of the lots needs a new roof and the other one doesn't. The person that needs it will be responsible for painting it and just make it as easy as possible to distinguish like their roof line. But I have not got that detailed yet, but I have thought about it and I'm working on picking one, a home designer at the time or.
So there's gonna be a separation between each unit?
No, but there would be a defined ridge line.
There'll be a chain link fence across the top.
In Albuquerque, I know this is not done here very often, but flat roofs is a great solution because you have,
I like.
no, if this goes right.
You could channel it the way you want it.
Yeah, you can channel it better. But yeah, it's kind of difficult doing like pitch roofs on townhomes, because you can't really distinguish like who owns what part of the roof. But yeah, I do want to make that as clear as possible in the design.
The water runs a lot better right there since they did improvements on Eddy Street, right by the courthouse or judicial complex. Because we don't have as much water on east anymore. I'm sorry, east.
So you can see at the rear lot lines, there's a dashed line. I'm reserving that for like landscaping, and that's where they could put their shallow pond to attenuate some of the flow before it gets into the alley and drains off to a public residence. And that would also, that easement there will help them from building like a shed in that portion of their property.
Just disagree. So, because we got sheds in some pretty unique places in town.
Yeah, if it's permitted, it would be allowed in that easement.
That's not something to go for. But,
That's what
yep, that's what I keep thinking.
Any more questions?
I don't have any.
Ms. Price, you have a comment?
We didn't think about it in our planning and zoning on this. He's gonna also probably need to come in and request a zone change, because that's commercial property. He puts houses in there. Banks don't like commercial property.
Oh, banks do. Secondary mortgage companies
Yeah,
don't.
but it's hard to get it.
That's right.
So I have spoke with the banker, Western Commerce is my bank. I presented this to them, they're for it, they're gonna finance it. So I already worked with the bank to kind of present this to them. Another thing I would like to add, I should have mentioned this during the public comment. I have a recent hire that's gonna start working here in July, around July 8th, he's scheduled to work. He's a PE, professional engineer, professional surveyor. He actually worked here with General Land Survey, I think like in the 80s. So he has quite a bit of experience. So like the average salary for like a professional surveyor is somewhere between like 80 to 120,000. So it's an investment that I'm making in this community, and he would be on the higher end since he has the experience. So I want to be here, and I like reasons to be here. So this would be one of them. I do like the community, and that's why I'm here with this project.
And your mom cooks for you every time.
And dinner party.
Yeah, that goes back to that 2-year-old thing.
All right. Any further questions?
No, sir, I do not have any.
Well, we are glad that you are back and contributing to Lovington. You've helped me in several projects. All right. Shannon, roll call, please.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a
Thank
motion.
Oh,
Are we?
I think we're done, yeah. I mean,
We're done right there.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Robert.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-061, approval of a JPA between the Lovington Chamber of Commerce and the City of Lovington.
I'd like to take consideration of this resolution. City manager.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, it's the time of year where we are renewing our professional service agreements with the 3 service organizations and the museum, that being the Chamber of Commerce, the Lovington EDC, Lovington Main Street, and the Lee County Museum. It's my proposal that we fund them at the same, basically the same terms as last year, $50,000 for the chamber, $50,000 for EDC, and $50,000 for Main Street, and $25,000 for the museums. The only thing that's changed slightly, and you'll see that on page 1 of each PSA, is the source of the funding. Ms. Cooper prepared kind of a little cheat sheet here of how it differs from the previous year in terms of the sources of the funding. But other than that, in terms of the requirements to all the organizations, we really haven't changed it much. A couple of the organizations are undergoing a little bit of a turnover, so I wanted to keep things consistent and show the city's dedication to all 4 organizations. So that would be for the resolution 061, 062, 063, and 064.
All right. Any further questions?
Yes, sir.
Hearing none. Shannon, roll call.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-062, approval of JPA between Lovington EDC and the city of Lovington.
Okay, motion second for consideration of this resolution. City manager. Assuming basically same as the above.
Yes, sir.
My phone's here somewhere.
And all these agreements
It's on
still
the
have
floor,
the agreed
yes,
upon
'cause-
activities and different events that we've had in the past.
Yeah, and I know, I heard it, no.
EDC includes the Cinco de Mayo, Fiestas de September, Chamber includes the Christmas parade and the party in the park for the 4th, et cetera, et cetera.
No problem, just double check.
Yes, sir.
My phone, it's,
Your phone?
yeah, it's somewhere. Which is fine, but
It's all right, it'll sync to you.
Sure, David doesn't have.
yeah, Dave's got, he told him to call this one instead of.
Yeah, instead of calling me.
All right, hearing no further discussion. Shannon?
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I was listening back here, same thing.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-063, 163. That's 63 proof. Approval of the JPA between Lovington Main Street and the city of Lovington.
Second.
Okay, say consideration of this resolution. Any questions?
You know what?
Oh, now he's got a
I'm
question.
sorry, yeah, just come to mind. Did we add in there about, in the event that the GRTs drop or something like that, we could, with the contract?
I had that provision in there in terms of reliance on the lodger's tax funds last year, so as not to touch the general funds. Did we put that in there this year?
I'm pretty sure that all of them have the provision that it's dependent on GRTs and like whatever funding source are coming from that being available.
Okay, so it was included in this?
Okay, sure. I remember seeing it when we were approving that there's provision in each of them. It says that funding is.
I understand your concern about not going after the general fund.
Yeah, just, yeah.
In case
Just
lodger's
wanted to make
taxes
sure that-
hit.
Yeah, wanted to make sure that we still had that in there because I don't, no hard feelings if we have to make adjustments.
Right.
No, that's all right.
Any other questions? Shannon, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-064, approval of JPA between the Lee County Museum and the city of Lovington.
Okay, motion second. Discussion. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes, and I'd like to point out one thing. I really appreciate Rose always being there from sun up to sundown and on the weekends when need be. I know we give her the least out of the bunch, but she really does a good job. Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-065, approval of municipal artery program cooperative grant agreement with New Mexico A&M DOT project L200656.
Second.
Okay. Motion second on,
So,
consideration of resolution 065. Okay.
Yeah, so planning and zoning coordinator Fisher Law submitted for the local government road fund. municipal arterial program grant was awarded the project, which is to design Washington Avenue from Love Street to Commercial Street with ADA ramp, sidewalk, and to rehabilitate the pavement. The city share is $21,854. NMDOT share is $65,561. Total project cost $87,415. That was awarded just this past week.
Questions?
That's from Love Street all the way to Commercial?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, from Love to Commercial. Did I say that wrong?
No, you said it right. All right, any further questions, discussions? Shannon?
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-066, approval of the local government road fund cooperative agreement with the Mexico DOT, project L200651.
Second.
Okay, motion second for consideration of this resolution. Any further discussion here?
No, not so much a further discussion.
It's a different source of funds though?
This one is a different
Yes.
source. This one is coming.
The road fund?
Correct, the road fund, and this is actually gonna take care of a few more roads, not just the one like the previous one. We have a list there, it's 9 altogether. The city match for this one is 54,640. State match is 163,920, and the total project cost is 218,560.
Questions? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner White. Yes. Commissioner Bowe.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-067, establishing board meeting dates and observed holidays fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Okay, motion second. This. Shannon, is this you? Okay.
We do this every year.
Right.
We have included the Good Friday that was approved of last year, and everything else is pretty much standard.
Anyone have any questions?
We checked Memorial Day meeting.
Yes, we changed the Memorial Day to the day after.
The Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
We like that.
No.
And it was published correctly
Christmas
last
Eve
year. It
meeting.
was a little hard.
There's a Christmas Eve meeting on Monday?
December 24th on a Tuesday.
Wait a minute. I'm looking, I couldn't even find it.
No, that's a holiday. That's a holiday.
Oh, sorry. I was like, a meeting?
Awesome. I was excited. Excited. I was gonna miss that meeting.
All those
I
meetings.
think,
holidays.
yeah.
Oh, we should have meetings on every day.
Every
Day.
holiday. Every
Yeah,
day.
Labor Day and,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
We have turkey. We always have turkey.
Apparently,
But I believe they're all correct. If they're not, we can always
Change them.
advertise that night, that day. But they should be right. Cassidy and I both worked on
Double check each other, right?
them.
Awesome.
holidays on top of that.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2024-068, approval to extend resolution 2024-039, authorizing the consent for access to the city right of way.
Second.
All right. We have a motion second. Consideration of this resolution. April, you're.
Yes, so the extension on this is actually going to be from Well, they were supposed to show up today, start drilling tomorrow. And we did extend the time frame to August 30th, just to be on the safe side. The work should be completed, give or take, the 16th or 19th is what they're shooting for. But like I said, they extended it all the way to August 30th to be on.
It's not Constructors Inc., right?
No, it's not.
Sorry.
Did they show up today, Gabriel?
You know, I did not get a chance to drive out there to see if they actually showed up. I want to say that I will know by tomorrow. I will make a drive out to verify, and I will call you of the commission personally to let you guys know.
Yeah, I'd just like to, we've added that, I feel that the city has taken the beating here with contractors lately. So I just want to make sure that we stay on top of them and hold them to what they say that they're going to do.
Sure.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, Shannon?
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes,
Commissioner Gandy.
Yes.
Commissioner White?
I'd like to make a motion to pay bills. All of them, all $1 million.
Second.
I don't know. See, we were real close there.
We were real close.
We wouldn't have paid that $1 million. All right. Motion second to consider paying the bill. Yes, there is.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we did try to run a lot of payables through last week, so it is reflected in this report.
Big. I guess it's in the truck. I know. I was like you, I was running a little late. It could be at home or changing clothes. It doesn't matter.
Put it somewhere.
In the library, the repairs, the new AC unit, did that come out of capital outlay?
No.
Where did that come out?
No, that was just an emergency fix. Unbeknownst to us, I guess they're running temperatures of 85 degrees in there. So that's one unit of, I don't know how many they have on the roof, but I believe it's a 5-ton unit that we became aware of and Debbie confirmed. And so that's a brand new unit.
Okay,
Yeah, that was kind of an emergency fix.
okay. I was hoping it was a new unit.
Yes, sir.
Almost 14,000.
It will be considered capital outlay when we do the audit, but
Right.
it wasn't something we had previously.
Something new. Okay, okay.
The Mountain West tank, that's the divers.
Right. That's not only to inspect the tanks, but to remove all that sand.
I just keep thinking, did they wash their feet before they got in? I know I didn't drink cold water. At least.
They look clean, sir, when they're going. They took a shower.
They wore shoes.
We have vendor 10441 CES, the water line relocation. For 11,000.
That was from Madison Sands. That was not a capital outlay, that was something completely different.
Is that the water fields? Is that coming from the booster tanks or?
That was a location from, I think, Avenue
Avenue A.
A. Yeah,
Avenue
Avenue
A. The
A.
water line in that alley of Avenue A.
Oh, okay. You want to explain a little bit more about that, Robert?
That water line down Avenue was, we had this, it was right next to the sewer. It was, we had a sewer leak and it was to move it away from the sewer where it was leaking. And that water line was busted in 2 or 3 places, so we had to replace it, move it away from the sewer line.
Okay.
So that's.
Prevent contamination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sewer line was leaking right into water line.
You said that,
That'd be about right, wouldn't it? Yeah.
just wanted to ask Robert,
Oh, I know.
you said well 9 had some work done, well 13, well 21,
they've all, I had a little bit of work done from overloads to, whatever it's been taking to keep them going. As right now, they're all going.
Right. So nothing major,
Sorry?
nothing major was done in them.
No, not coming with, we won't have to get it done.
Okay, no, I seen that work was done, I just wanted to ask.
That's hopefully nothing.
And I think, just for reference, last year at this time, we had 11 of 19 wells working.
Right.
And now we have 19 out of 19.
What kind of runtime do we have on our water wells?
It's very, an hour and a half to do a switch to another group. It just varies on the tank.
But they're rotating, they're not all running at all.
They're always rotating, yes, sir.
Oh, that's good. It's an automatic, Robert, is that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good.
So like 3 batches of 4 or 5?
I think there are 4 batches, they'll rotate, if they don't know what's going on.
Just wanted to ask, as far as with the Troy Harris, I know you made mention about as far as doing the ceiling and stuff in there. Do we have the electric off in that building right now? Because I see nothing on there. And usually it's quite high for a vacant building, so.
Thermostat, the 2 thermostats I saw, one was off, one was set to 75. Most lights were off. Remains to be seen if the hot water heater has to be replaced. We just did a general walkthrough with GC, and the aim was making it more energy efficient, replacing ceiling tiles. I think the mayor had a suggestion about putting insulation in over those ceiling tiles, but as you know, there's those gaps. He didn't seem to think it was a big problem and not a costly fix.
Like I said, I know we infrareded that. The city asked us to infrared it, and we did. And there was a lot of heat loss on that building, so.
It's not energy efficient.
No, not whatsoever.
But it's not in bad shape. It just.
It needs work.
It needs work, it needs to be inhabited,
Yeah, worst thing for a building is being empty.
Yeah, and I think from the looks of it, there's 3 AC units on the roof, and one of them I think is brand new, and the other 2 are relatively new, so.
But I know the roof probably needs to be redone too, because the roof was shingles coming off and stuff.
Yeah, so the roof does need to be
Rough shape.
for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Parking lot's not so hot either.
No. But it'll have a nice new entrance. From Main Street.
Right.
That's true.
Don't.
The end of October.
Maybe.
October 30th.
But, oh, okay. Shannon, roll call, please.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy?
Yes.
Commissioner Bill?
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. With that, the items of the agenda are exhausted, we are adjourned. All right, thank you, ladies.
You know what? I was saving everybody's changes and then seeing something.